you see a lot of disinformation, controlled opposition shills out there like Mark Passio, who wears the Orwellian 1984 t-shirt, and Mark Dice writes books on 1984. That's because George Orwell was a psyop and a cruel world propaganda agenda that doesn't reflect the society you're living in today. You'll see a lot of propaganda through the socially engineered memes about 1984 isn't fiction and 1984 was a reality and we're living in it now, and all this rubbish and disinfo. Now, the malnourished people in the book 1984 who were basically selling their soul and an arm and a leg just for a chocolate bar is completely not happening today. You go into your local supermarket and they're basically giving them away in baskets up the front. It's to create this false reality and this grey world and promote the whole controlled opposition, the fake revolutions and the Big Brother idea where everyone's watching you and the televisions are watching you, and the whole double-sided mechanism of freedom of speech and political correctness nonsense. So 1984 is a massive agenda, and even the intelligence agencies like the CIA are just useless houses of cards filled with stooges. That's if they're even that. People like Stan Smith on American Dad work for the CIA, and it's like an Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt type Hollywood movie that was founded by the 33rd president of America, I believe, Harry Truman, who also founded the non-existent NATO. And there is no need for intelligence agencies above the police force because there's no such thing as terrorists, all right? The government are the terrorists who try to create terrorism through radical extremism, through all their religious propaganda and their agents like Dover telling people to go and kill government officials. They're inciting it. The CIA are inciting and advocating it, so you go and conform to it. They rock up at, David Koresh's hostage situation. There's no need for the CIA. And people get misled through these movies, right? They see movies like They Live, for example, the Russian vids propaganda to bring in this us against them mentality. And this leads into people living in this black and white type Masonic world where every second person is an alien and a demon, and they think there's subliminal truth in They Live when there wasn't. That was just a science fiction psyop. And they'll say, but it was taken away from the cinema because it revealed too much truth. When that's a hoax and a controlled opposition strategy, because they wouldn't release the damn thing if it wasn't propaganda in the first place. And people who believe in this stuff, they fall into the Matrix movies and the fake simulation theory, and they get around quoting the political movie, the red pill, blue pill, Matrix, controlled opposition, fake religion. And people fall into this and they end up like Dylan Ellis wanting to emulate the guy off the Truman Show and get in a boat and trying to escape society because he's seen all the propaganda right? You would have seen it too, how they displayed the slums and then this picket fence with all these green lush pastures where the rich are living, all right, when the rich ain't rich and the poor ain't poor. That's just another control mechanism. You'll notice the propaganda suggests you should be envious and jealous, and they push all this oppression on you, right? When it's not about the powers that be, it's about the the power in you that they're trying to strip away from you. It's not about them. It's everything to do with you. And people fall into these false religions. They got the anonymous mask, the green vest, the Alex Jones brain supplement pills, and their copy of 1984, which becomes their Bible, and their anarchist style controlled opposition truther outfit is their religious gown, and their whole reality is just corrupted and totally twisted and fake. Subliminal messages, the Russian vids, the dome propaganda, just because the fat dude on King of Queens said it. That's an orchestrated stunt that he'd leaked, and it would have played out something like, when they were making the episode, they would have said, let's make a reference to the firmament and the dome, and we'll put it on television, and then we'll get our controlled opposition shill disinfo agent in Russian vids to leak it to them and tell them it's truth. Ha 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 ha. And people just swallow this up, okay? The Disney subliminal messages, all the Satanist messages and the depravity in Disney movies, it's all edited in later, not in the original films, okay? Because it's simply just an agenda, all right, for later on. And even if they were in the originals, it was designed as an agenda to punk you. So you're not going to get the truth from subliminal messages. And George Orwell, it's just a giant contrivance to create this bleak world. Look around you. You get catered for. You don't have to work. You can get benefits, and you can ring people up, and they come to your doorstep and give you free food, and you get treated like a damn king, alright? You're not getting around like one of those zombified characters in 1984. In Orwell's nightmares come true. Big farmers poisoning everyone. That's bullshit. School is dumbing people down. Well, I went to school for the best part of 14 years, and I only went because my mother made me go when I hated school, and I never learned a damn thing in school. School didn't make me dumb because I never learned anything. I have only fond memories of school. So it's designed for you to just to take on all of this bullshit, alright? There's massive red flags around it when, Mark Dyson and Mark Passio are pushing the George Orwell narrative. And it's just a Luciferian Masonic religion. Edward Snowden goes on about it. I don't want to live in a world where everyone's watching me. No one's watching you. There's no one spying on you, and because it's all conforming. They want you doing this. They want people like me fucking making videos and talking about this kind of thing. They're not trying to censor me and crack down on me because I'm getting the truth out. It's all a contrived false religion, okay? And it's just a worldly distraction and controlled opposition and a matrix type false train of thought and mind mechanism. The matrix isn't in reality. through the government. It's a false train of thought that exists in your mind, where you reject your real life and become distracted by things that are real through the worldly gnosis and the worldly discussion.